Alright fam, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into the wild world of YouTube drama. And trust me, this one's a doozy. We're talking about MrBeast, the guy who made a career out of giving away absurd amounts of cash. He's basically the Willy Wonka of YouTube, except instead of chocolate, he's handing out cars, houses, and straight-up stacks of cash. This dude's been on top of the world, breaking records left and right, and inspiring a whole new generation of YouTubers. But lately, there's been a shadow creeping over MrBeast's empire. We're talking controversies, allegations, and some seriously heavy questions about the man behind the millions. So, is MrBeast's squeaky clean image starting to crack? Is the king of YouTube about to be dethroned? That's what we're here to unpack, so stick around because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's be real, one of the biggest reasons people love MrBeast is his insane generosity. I mean, the dude gives away more money than some small countries. He's built his entire brand around these over-the-top philanthropic stunts, and you gotta admit, it's pretty damn entertaining to watch. He's given away millions to random people, tipped pizza delivery drivers with cars, and even recreated real-life Squid Game challenges with life-changing prizes. MrBeast has basically become synonymous with charitable giving, and that's a powerful image to have. But here's where things get a little murky. Some people argue that MrBeast's philanthropy is just a clever marketing ploy, a calculated move to rake in even more views and subscribers. They claim he's exploiting people's struggles for entertainment and profit, and it leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths. Okay, so we've talked about the controversy surrounding MrBeast's charitable endeavors. But what about the man behind the camera? What about the people who work tirelessly to bring his elaborate videos to life? Well, in 2021, things took a dark turn when several former employees came forward with some disturbing allegations. These weren't just vague complaints either. These were detailed accounts of a toxic work environment allegedly fueled by MrBeast's demanding nature and relentless pursuit of viral content. Long hours, unrealistic deadlines, and intense pressure to deliver were just the tip of the iceberg. Some former employees even claimed they were subjected to verbal abuse and intimidation, painting a picture that starkly contrasted with MrBeast's public persona as a fun-loving, generous dude. Suddenly, the guy who preached kindness and compassion was facing accusations of hypocrisy and mistreatment. Alright, so we've talked about the controversies, the allegations, but there's another layer to this MrBeast situation that's hard to ignore: the sheer volume of content he puts out. And more importantly, the wave of, let's call them beast clones, who've popped up. Look, you can't argue with MrBeast's success. Dude's a machine. But that success has spawned a whole industry of YouTubers trying to replicate the formula: big cash giveaways, outrageous challenges, the whole 9 yards. It's like everyone's trying to outbeast MrBeast, and that's where the problem comes in. When everyone's doing the same thing, it starts to feel less special, less authentic. That initial shock value, that holy crap, did he really just do that factor starts to wear off. And for the viewers, the ones who made MrBeast a phenomenon in the first place, it can lead to something we're all familiar with: content fatigue. That feeling of, another one of these videos. It's a real danger, and it's something MrBeast is gonna have to navigate carefully. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room: the money. MrBeast spends a lot of it, like an insane amount of it. And for a lot of people, that's part of the appeal. It's entertaining, it's aspirational, it's pure wish fulfillment. But lately there's been a growing sentiment that maybe, just maybe, MrBeast's gone a little overboard with the whole lavish spending thing. I mean, how many times can you watch someone give away $1 million before it starts to feel, I don't know, a little tone deaf? And look, I get it. It's his money, he earned it. But there's a growing disconnect between the world MrBeast lives in and the world most of his viewers live in. When people are struggling to pay rent, to put food on the table, watching someone casually drop millions on a YouTube video, it can leave a bad taste in your mouth. Alright, so MrBeast plants a crap ton of trees. We're talking about millions of trees here, folks. It's a massive undertaking, and it's caught the attention of millions of people around the world. We've all seen the #TeamTrees videos, right? They're everywhere on social media, and they've inspired countless people to get involved in tree planting initiatives. On the surface, it's amazing. The idea of planting trees to combat climate change and restore ecosystems is undeniably positive. The dude is literally trying to save the planet, or at least a big chunk of it. His enthusiasm is infectious, and it's hard not to get caught up in the excitement. It's feel-good content with a tangible impact. People love seeing the immediate results of their efforts, and it's a great way to bring communities together. But, and there's always a but, some people are saying, hold on, let's look at the bigger picture here. Hold on, let's look at the bigger picture here. While planting trees is undoubtedly beneficial, it's important to consider the broader implications of these large-scale projects. Because when you think about the sheer scale of these stunts, the logistics, the planning, and the execution, it's a monumental task. The transportation of people and equipment, the coordination of volunteers, and the overall management of such a massive project require significant resources. The resources used in production, from the vehicles to the tools to the energy consumed, all add up. It's not just about planting trees, it's about everything that goes into making it happen. It makes you wonder about the carbon footprint left behind. Are we inadvertently causing more harm than good in our efforts to do something positive? Is it possible that these elaborate productions, even with the best intentions, are causing damage somewhere else? Are we offsetting the benefits of tree planting with the environmental costs of the production itself? We're talking about a potential environmental trade-off here, where the benefits of planting trees might be counterbalanced by the negative impacts of the production process. And that sparked a whole debate about the sustainability of these massive projects. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, and it's something that needs to be carefully considered. And look, I'm not saying MrBeast is out there intentionally harming the environment, far from it. His intentions are clearly good, and he's making a significant effort to make a positive impact. He's clearly making an effort, and a massive one at that. The scale of his projects is impressive, and the results are visible and inspiring. But it's a conversation that needs to be had. We need to look at the full picture and consider all aspects of these initiatives. We have to ask ourselves, can you really be environmentally conscious when your brand is built on these huge, resource-intensive productions? Is there a way to achieve the same goals with less environmental impact? It's a tough question, and honestly, there's no easy answer. It's a balancing act, trying to do good while minimizing harm. It's all about balance, right? Finding that sweet spot between doing good and minimizing harm. It's a delicate dance, and it requires careful consideration and planning. Finding that sweet spot between doing good and minimizing harm. It's about being mindful of our actions and their consequences and striving to make the best choices we can. And it's a conversation that goes beyond just MrBeast. It's a question for every creator, every industry, every single one of us. How can we make a positive impact without causing unintended harm? It's a question for every creator, every industry, every single one of us. We all have a role to play in this, and we all need to be mindful of our impact on the planet. We all need to be mindful of our impact on the planet, especially as we strive to make it a better place. It's about finding sustainable solutions that allow us to do good without causing harm. It's about working together, sharing ideas, and finding innovative ways to make a positive impact. It's about being conscious of our actions and their consequences and striving to make the best choices we can. So, as we continue to plant trees and work towards a greener future, let's also keep the bigger picture in mind. Let's strive to make a positive impact in a way that's truly sustainable and beneficial for the planet. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about planting trees, it's about creating a better, more sustainable world for all of us, and that's something we can all get behind. Remember when MrBeast was just this dude making gaming videos in his bedroom? It was a simpler time, a time when the internet was still a wild frontier for creators. Back then, it was all about passion and raw creativity. It wasn't that long ago, but it feels like a lifetime. The digital landscape has changed so much since then. We've seen platforms rise and fall, trends come and go, but MrBeast's journey has been a constant source of inspiration. He was relatable, he was authentic, he was just a regular guy chasing a dream. His early videos were filled with genuine excitement and a sense of wonder. You could see the spark in his eyes, the fire that drove him to keep pushing boundaries. And that's what drew people to him. It wasn't just the content, it was the person behind the content. Viewers felt like they were part of his journey, cheering him on from the sidelines. He was the underdog, the everyman who made it big. Every small victory felt like a win for all of us. We celebrated his milestones as if they were our own. But as his channel blew up, as the views and the subscribers skyrocketed, something shifted. The numbers were staggering, and with that growth came new opportunities and challenges. The production value went through the roof. Suddenly, the videos were no longer just about a guy with a camera. They were cinematic experiences. The quality was undeniable, but it marked a turning point. The challenges became more elaborate, the stakes became higher. What started as simple, fun experiments turned into grand spectacles. Each new video aimed to outdo the last, pushing the limits of what was possible. He went from giving away a couple $100 to giving away cars, houses, even private islands. The scale of his generosity was mind-blowing, and it drew even more attention to his channel. And don't get me wrong, it's incredible to see how far he's come. The dude built an empire, a brand that's recognizable around the world. His success is a testament to his hard work and vision. The dude built an empire, a brand that's recognizable around the world. His influence extends far beyond YouTube, touching various aspects of media and entertainment. But somewhere along the way, that relatability, that authenticity, started to fade. The more polished the content became, the more distant he seemed. It's a natural progression, but it's also a double-edged sword. He became this larger-than-life figure, this untouchable icon. Fans who once felt a personal connection now saw him as a celebrity, someone who was out of reach. And that's the tightrope walk of fame, right? Balancing between staying true to your roots and evolving with your success is no easy feat. It's a constant struggle to maintain that balance. The more successful you become, the harder it is to stay grounded. The pressures of fame and the demands of a growing audience can be overwhelming. It's easy to lose sight of what made you start in the first place. To maintain that connection with your audience, it's crucial to remember the people who supported you from the beginning, to engage with them and make them feel valued. And for some creators, that shift can be jarring, both for them and their fans. The journey from basement to blockbuster is filled with highs and lows, and navigating it requires a delicate touch. It's a story of growth, change, and the quest to stay true to oneself amidst the whirlwind of success. So, where does this leave MrBeast? He's built an empire, inspired millions, and raised awareness for important causes. From his humble beginnings, creating videos in his bedroom, to becoming a global sensation, MrBeast has shown the world the power of creativity and perseverance. His journey is a testament to what can be achieved with passion and dedication, but he's also faced criticism, scrutiny, and accusations of hypocrisy. The larger his audience grew, the more eyes were on him, dissecting his every move. Some questioned his motives, while others doubted the authenticity of his charitable acts. It's a common plight for those in the limelight, where every action is magnified and every mistake is amplified. It's the double-edged sword of fame, the price you pay for being one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. With millions of followers come millions of opinions, and not all of them are kind. The pressure to constantly outdo oneself to keep the audience engaged can be overwhelming, and it's easy to judge from the outside, to point fingers and make assumptions. We often forget that behind the screen, there's a real person with real emotions. The internet can be a harsh place where anonymity gives people the courage to say things they might never say in person. But the reality is, we only see what he chooses to show us. The curated content, the highlights of his life, the moments designed to entertain and inspire. What we don't see are the hours of hard work, the sleepless nights, and the sacrifices made behind the scenes. We see the carefully curated videos, the perfectly crafted persona. The polished final product that makes it to our screens is the result of countless takes, edits, and revisions. It's a world where perfection is the goal, and anything less is left on the cutting room floor. We don't see the behind-the-scenes struggles, the doubts, the insecurities, the moments of self-doubt, the fear of failure, the pressure to live up to expectations. These are the hidden battles that every creator faces, but few talk about. Because at the end of the day, Jimmy Donaldson is just a human being. He's not immune to the challenges and struggles that come with life. He has his good days and bad days just like the rest of us. He's flawed, he makes mistakes, he's constantly evolving, and that's okay, it's part of the human experience. What matters is how we learn from our mistakes and grow from them. We're all works in progress, right? Each day is an opportunity to be better than we were yesterday. It's a journey of continuous improvement, of striving to reach our full potential. The important thing is that we learn from our mistakes, that we strive to be better, to do better. It's about taking responsibility for our actions and making a conscious effort to improve, and that's what I hope for MrBeast. that he continues to grow, to learn, and to use his platform for good, that he remains true to his values and continues to inspire others with his actions. I hope he uses his platform for good, that he continues to inspire and give back. His influence is immense, and with it comes the power to make a significant impact on the world, but I also hope he finds a way to stay true to himself, to maintain that authenticity that made him so relatable in the first place. It's easy to get lost in the fame and the expectations, but staying grounded is key, because that's what will ultimately matter in the long run. Authenticity, integrity, and the ability to stay true to oneself. These are the qualities that will define his legacy and ensure that his impact is lasting and meaningful. While MrBeast continues to be a dominant force on YouTube, these controversies could pose significant risks to his reputation. Only time will tell if he can navigate these challenges and maintain his status as a beloved creator. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of YouTube. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest content.